Hello everyone, I'm your instructor Erin O'Keefe. Each week I will be recording a video to go over that week's module. It's really important that you watch these module videos because not only do I take a little bit of time to do this would be equivalent to what I might talk about in a classroom, but I also give you some tips on completing the assignments, what order you should go in. I might have some additions to or some tips on how to complete them easier or faster. And then a lot of times students find that they might have questions after looking in a module, but once they've watched the video, I actually answer the questions, and so then they don't have to email me. So it's really important that you watch these videos each week. So we're going to start today with a little bit of, I'm going to kind of go over how the class is set up, as well as showing you what you'll be working on in Module 1. So once you log in, this is the home page. New announcements will show up right here. It's really important that you check to see if a new announcement has been posted. I do post pretty regularly, usually at least twice a week, and so you want to be checking for those. If you can, I would suggest downloading the Canvas app. Will give you those announcements, and it's a little easier to keep track of them if you're not able to log into a computer every day. You'll also see over here on the side the to-do list, and you're welcome to click on these assignments. However, keep in mind that just clicking on the assignment is not giving you the class itself. So if you know what the assignment is and you're prepared to complete it, or you're prepared to submit it, you can click here and do it and it'll disappear off your to-do list. However, if you're just doing things down the list, that means you are not going to be successful in completing the class, because everything that you need is actually under the modules tab. The syllabus tab over here gives you the syllabus for the class as well as the course at a glance. This course at a glance is a really handy document that you can print off and keep track of the assignments that you've completed. You can just check them off if you want to. I kind of have mine posted just for myself and remember when things are due. It also links, it gives you all the point values. It also links the assignments to the outcomes that we will be completing this semester, so you can see why we're doing each assignment. The modules tab is where you're going to start. You want to start with the Getting Started module if you have not taken an Allen class before. Now, if you've taken one before, you may know all of this information already. You may have already accessed your email, and that's fine. Once you're done with a module, you can hide it by clicking on that little triangle. And then you want to make sure that you go through the Academic Honesty module. You can do that first, or you can get started in Module 1 and go back to the Academic Honesty module when you complete the Academic Honesty quiz. So the quiz, I get a link in here to the module itself. If you want to, you can follow that if you want. But the quiz goes over academic honesty. These should be a review from Comp 1. Hopefully, your Comp 1 instructor covered academic honesty and plagiarism to some extent, and so most of it should be review or kind of common sense stuff if you understand academic honesty. And then the other things in the module you want to go through so that you can get the introduction overview of the class. So for each module, it's going to be set up the same way. Right now you can only see Module 1. Module 2 will appear toward the end of the first week, and so I usually give you a few days with just one module, and then the next one will open up. So they overlap just a little bit, but those due dates are really important to remember. So you have an overview and a to-do list for each one. This is the overview. I'm going to post this video. Will show up in the overview as well as the announcement, so you can see it in both places, and it gives you an idea of what we're covering. The to-do list gives you a list of things you're doing and the outcomes that will be covered in this particular module. Readings, most of your modules will have a readings listed. Some of them overlap a little bit, so that you may end up either reading something or reviewing something that you already read because it's relevant in this module too. There are 16 modules. I didn't say that earlier. There are 16 modules, and so each one's 1 week long. We have a break, of course, for Thanksgiving. This is the first assignment that you'll complete. I'll put my email in here. So the first assignment that you're going to do is a beginning semester reflection email. We're going to do this 3 times. At the beginning, you reflect on the semester, what you're anticipating for the semester, and kind of your objectives and goals, strengths and weaknesses, that kind of thing. We'll revisit that at the midterm and then at the end, at the during the final week. And so you're going to do this 3 times as sort of reflecting on your writing as a student. And so this is an email though, so this is sort of a double assignment. At first, it gets you to set some goals and think about your strengths and weaknesses, but it also gets you to use your email, which for some students, they've never used their Allen email before, and so it's a good exercise in figuring out how that works. You can either use your Allen email or you can use the Canvas inbox, and so you're welcome to come over here and use the Canvas inbox to send me a message, as long as that's kind of the way you plan on communicating with me in particular, but also with your other instructors. Make sure that you're using the one that you plan on using for the semester. That way, you know, if I need to get a hold of you, you know, I know whether to use Canvas or to use your Allen email, and that will help me out a bit. It also gives me an introduction to you. The other thing that introduces me to you is your discussion board. If you've never used a discussion board before on Canvas, they look a little bit different. We used to use Blackboard. Some of you may remember that. And so the Canvas discussion board isn't quite as visually friendly in my opinion, but basically what you'll do is you'll just hit reply, and that brings up the text box here, and then you'll type your introduction, and you want to give us some things about you. So this is a very standard introduction type of posting, and then you're going to respond to 2 of your classmates. Once you hit post reply, you'll see underneath that there is the ability to reply underneath somebody else's. And so it's a little bit harder to see this reply button, but that's where you'll reply, and you'll do that to 2 students. You'll respond to them. So very typical introduction email or introduction assignment. And then the last thing that you'll do in the module, of course, is this academic honesty quiz, which should be review of academic honesty information. So that's the first module. It's not difficult. These assignments will not take you very long. The other thing I want to point out is when you do them, so you can see these little words underneath each item in the module, that's what you're supposed to do. And so once you have done everything in these or in the module itself, then it will show up as a check mark, and then the whole thing will be green when you're done. This is a really handy way to keep track of whether or not you actually looked at everything, and if you looked at it and you didn't didn't contribute to it or didn't submit something, then it will show up as a circle here, and will tell you that you haven't done it yet. Sometimes students think that they submitted something, think that they completed something, and they didn't actually do that. So make sure that you're going through and just keeping track to yourself. This is just for you, to see what you've done. I mean, I can tell what you've looked at, but it's important as a student to be able to see what you've done, making sure that you get the check marks all the way down. If you have any questions at all, make sure that you send me a message, send me an email. I have my cell phone number on the home page for texting if you need anything and for some reason you can't access your email, but I do get emails on my phone too. So the fastest way to get a hold of me usually is through email, because I'll get it on my phone, I'll get it on my computer as well if I'm at work. So just make sure that you get a hold of me if you have any questions, and I hope you have a good one.